Yeah, what up, everybody? It's the Caveman. Welcome to the evolution of the Caveman. How y'all doing tonight? uh, actually, um, I have to say it was brought to my attention by Suzuki. Um, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Uh, but what up, Axeman? But anyway, oh, I've been here. I just didn't do a show yesterday or Wednesday. Um, but I'm all good. I'm all ready. We about to get this on, y'all. But as I was getting ready to say it, it's come to my attention of a video that I watched just a minute ago. I didn't watch all of it yet, but I did watch a few minutes of it. Suzuki sent it to me. Um, about the all the collapses that are happening, and that in the first 5 minutes of that video, actually, it wasn't even the first 5 minutes, like the first 2 minutes, they were saying in Ohio that, hey, Dome Seeker, hey, Prepping Artist, hey, Michael G, hey, Suzuki Hooligan, hey, Beverly, hey, Chewbacca, hey, Teresa. Did I leave anybody out? TJ, and Joni. I will put y'all together today. Oh, okay, Teresa, go ahead. Cook on, girl. Cook on. What up, Seventh Hour? Raven P, how you doing, darling? All right. Anyway, so it came to my attention about this video. Um, like I said, Suzuki sent it to me. And it's about the collapse of a lot of stuff. But in the first few minutes, hey, Red Dog, in the first few minutes of that, yeah, hit the like button, everybody. It helps me out. It boosts my ratings, gets more people seeing me and shit. Uh, but hopefully they see me anyway. But because y'all a great crowd anyhow. Um, but like I say, uh, that video in the first, like, I don't know, it was like the first 2 minutes was talking about Ohio and a food bank down there that was running like 34% higher than they were last year. That's crazy. I mean, that's nuts. But uh I don't understand that. Like, it don't make no sense, but look at what the country's falling into. I mean, shit's going to oblivion. Yo, Red Dog. Uh-oh, a concussion. Got hit in the face yesterday while teaching gym. Damn, that ain't good. I hate to hear that. Get better. uh, but no, like I was saying though, I mean that's just it's crazy. Like, and then like I said, I didn't get to finish the whole video because I got it late. And it's like I don't know, probably a 30-minute video or more. Um, but I got to the first few minutes of it, and that's what I heard, and I'm like, damn, that's crazy. So it's imagine. Yeah, I will. I will, Suzuki. Seriously. After hearing that first 2 minutes of it, and they're already talking about like in Ohio, a food bank is already running like 30% higher. It's like nuts. It just doesn't make sense. It's like the pandemic all over again, but worse. Because they said they didn't even run that high last year. I mean, that don't make sense. So, I mean, that's just bad. Yeah. Much love and prayers, Raven P. But and you're very welcome. Um, but no. Anyway, so when I get through with that video, y'all, we will I will post the link to it in the comments after the show. I'll go in and fix that up. Um, and then I'll also so y'all can watch it, and then next week we'll talk about it or something if you want. Um, but I do have chapter 2 and 3 written of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. If y'all are ready to hear that yet, but Red Dog, I'd say you are running pretty high, bro. Yeah, you're right, Michael G. Superline's pretty soon. There ain't no doubt about that. But yeah, I'll post the copy of the link to in the video section or in the description later after the video's done, after we're done with the live or whatever. But all right. Anyway, on with the next portion. That way we can talk about it next week. And trust me, man, I'm always running high too, bro. Uh, so anyway, here's chapter 2. Um, as y'all know, last week we left on the note that they were, getting ready to haul ass out into the middle of the sea and do some shit. So, without further notice, here come the character. All right, we was uh on that there Nautilus for a few good days, and I was just getting used to the way them fancy folks live and talk. Captain Nemo, he was a curious sort, quite like, but always a watching everything around him. He showed us some strange fish and creatures that I ain't never seen before. One day he was sitting in the main cabin, and the captain he comes in and says, "Gentlemen, I have I have decided to take you on a little excursion." Well, we weren't too sure what he meant by that, but we followed him down to the lower deck. Chapter 3. It scrunched chapter 2 into one big old huge sentence or like paragraph. But anyway, chapter 3 is kind of long. It's like 2 paragraphs long anyway. So, but I've got more. So don't worry. We got a lot more to do today. Hey, Joni. Anyway, here we go. Chapter 3. Down there we saw something that made our eyes pop out of our heads. It was a big old room filled with all sorts of machinery and contraptions and that I couldn't even begin to understand. Captain Nemo, he explained that this here was the engine room and that it was what made the Nautilus move through the water. I gotta say, I was mighty impressed. He was we walked around and looked at all the gears and levers and whatnot, and the captain even let us help with some of the work. After a while, he went back up to the main cabin, and the captain he showed us some maps and charts of the sea. He talked about all the places we'd been and all them things he'd seen, and I gotta say, I was pretty interesting. It was it was pretty interesting. Sorry about that. I couldn't help but wonder where we was headed next and what kind of adventure we was going to have. But I also couldn't help but feel a little bit nervous because I knew that we was a long way from home and there was no telling what kind of danger lay ahead. Woo! Well, folks, that's all for this week. On that part. Uh, but I do have actually, if I can get this thing to do what I want it to do, I do have something else for you all that I had this thing tear up. Now, I'm going to read you all what I had this thing write, or what I asked it to write me. I said, write a full length, complete chapter by chapter novel about the U.S. government and its evil plot to destroy the Constitution and all it stands for. But but a group of heroes plan to stop that from happening. And then I said, finish the story and make an original. This is what it wrote. Now, bear in mind, think about what's going on now and then listen to this story because there is a lot going on in this story that you'll see. Just wait. All right, here we go. Chapter 1, the beginning of the end. It was a dark day in the history of the United States. The government had become corrupt and power hungry, and its leaders were no longer interested in upholding the principles of the Constitution. They had begun to chip away at the rights and freedoms of the American people, slowly but surely eroding the very foundation of democracy. For years, a group of concerned citizens had been warning of this danger, but their cries had fallen on deaf ears. It was only when the government began to openly flaunt the law and trample on basic human rights that people began to take notice. Among these concerns, citizens were a small group of heroes determined to do whatever it took. Among these concerned citizens were a small group of heroes determined to do whatever it took to stop the government's evil plot. They knew that they were up against a powerful adversary, but they were willing to risk everything for the cause of freedom. Chapter 2, The Gathering Storm. The group of heroes began to gather in secret, carefully planning the next move. They knew that they needed to strike quickly and decisively before the government could fully implement its plan. They spent long hours poring over maps and intelligence reports, trying to find a weakness in the government's defense. They knew that they would need to act as a cohesive unit, working together to achieve their goal. Slowly but surely, they began to recruit others to their cause. They reached out to fellow patriots, activists, and veterans, building a network of support across the country. Chapter 3, The First Blow. The heroes knew that they needed to strike hard and fast before the government could react. They decided to target one of the government's key installations, a secret facility where they were developing the technology to monitor and control the population. Under the darkness of the crypt they crept into the facility, taking out the guards and disabling the security system. They made their way to the heart of the facility where they found the main servers that controlled the government surveillance network. With a few deft keystrokes, they disabled the servers, causing chaos and confusion throughout the government's network. The heroes knew they had dealt a serious blow to the government's plans, but they also knew that they had made themselves a target. And then chapter 4 is The Hunt Begins. So, what do y'all think so far? Yeah, I know, right? It'll never happen. None of this will ever happen. We know that's not. Oh my God. Well, that's some dirty laundry, I'll tell you. All right, y'all ready for chapter 4? The hunt begins. The government was furious at the heroes' audacity. They launched a massive manhunt using every resource at their disposal to track down the rebels and bring them to justice. The heroes knew that they were in danger, but they also knew that they couldn't back down. They continued to work tirelessly, gathering more support and planning their next move. Chapter 5, The Final Showdown. Yeah, I know, right? They do hate it. That's why John's got a strike against him. But anyway, Chapter 5, The Final Showdown. The government was closing in, and the heroes knew that they needed to act quickly. They decided to stage a massive protest in the heart of the capital, rallying the people to their cause and demanding that the government respect the Constitution and the rule of the law. The protest was a huge success, with thousands of people pouring into the streets demanding change. The government responded with brutal force, sending in riot police and military units to disperse the crowd. The heroes knew that this was their moment. They rallied their supporters and led them in charge against the government forces, using their training and expertise to maneuver and outflank the enemy. In the end, the heroes emerged victorious. They had stood up to the government, defending the Constitution and restoring the rule of law. End of story. So, what y'all think of that story? Yeah. Yep. It do, don't it? That's what I thought too. As soon as I started reading it, after it wrote it, I was like, that makes sense. I said that makes total sense. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy, and I hope that happens. The ending to that story, but you can't never really tell. I mean, you really can't. Like, who knows? But um, I did get this thing to do something crazy. I got it to write me a line by line script for a movie. uh, but it doesn't have a real like title or anything. Basically, it just named the movie script Mountain Man in the late 1800s. And the mountain man's name was Jed, ironically. And he's from Appalachian Mountains. Go figure. But nah, I just been fooling around with this AI thing to see what it says. I really did fool around with this. Y'all want to hear something funny? Like at work one day, I just put in there, I just typed in, write me a story about a weed man. This is what it come up with. Once upon a time, in a small town nestled in the heart of a countryside, there lived a man named Jack. Jack was known throughout town as the weed man because he grew the best marijuana around. He had developed a reputation for producing high quality product that was sought after by many. Jack had been growing marijuana for over a decade and he took great pride in his work. He carefully tended to each plant, making sure they received just the right amount of sunlight, water, and nutrients. He was always experimenting with new strands and techniques, always striving to produce the best product he could. Despite the fact that marijuana was still illegal in their state, Jack continued to grow the plants and sell his product to those in need. He believed that marijuana had many medicinal benefits and that people should have access to it. His customers were loyal and grateful, and they often praised him for his work. But Jack's success did not go unnoticed. The local authorities had been keeping an eye on Jack for some time, and eventually they caught wind of his operation. One day, they raided his property and arrested him, seizing all of his plants and equipment. Jack was devastated. He put so much time and effort into his work, and now it was all gone. But he refused to give up. He hired a lawyer and fought the charges, arguing that marijuana should be legalized and he was simply providing a service to those in need. To everyone's surprise, the judge agreed with Jack's argument. He dismissed the charges and even went so far as to publicly endorse the legalization of marijuana. Jack was hailed as a hero, and his story spread throughout the country. Today, Jack continues to grow and sell marijuana legally, and he is regarded as a pioneer in the industry. He has inspired others to follow in his footsteps and fight for legalization of marijuana. And although he faces opposition from some, he remains committed to his cause and continued to prove his custom or provide his customers with the best product he can. And I just did that at work one day, and that's what it came up with. I was like, "What the damn? Yeah, I know, bro. You good? You can resemble the weed, man. It's all good, buddy. Shit, I do too sometimes. Like, I've had this thing writing all kinds of different stories. I've got like uh fantasy stories, intergalactic battles. Oh, I had it. Oh, here's one y'all would get interested in. Here we go. This one is about moonshine life in the Tennessee hills. He goes, "Well, howdy there, stranger. You're looking to hear a story about moonshine and moonshining, huh? Well, I reckon I can spin you a yarn or two about that there topic. But before I get started, let me warn you, this here tale ain't for the faint of heart. It's a story filled with ups and downs, twists and turns, and more than a few calls, or close calls. So if you're ready to hear it, grab yourself a jar of shine and settle in." All right. Now, this story takes place back in the hills of Tennessee in a little town called Pine Ridge. It's a place where time seems to stand still, where folks still talk with a drawl, and where the sound of a banjo can be heard echoing through the night. And it's also a place where moonshine is king. Our story begins with a man named Cletus. He's a burly feller with a bushy beard and a quick wit. He's been making shine for as long as he can remember, and he's darn good at it too. He's got a secret recipe that's been passed down through his family for generations, and folks come from miles around just to get a taste of it. But as good as Cletus is at making shine, he's just as bad at staying out of trouble. He's got a bit of a reputation for being a hothead, and he's been known to get into a fight at the local saloon. One night, after a few too many jars of shine, Cletus got into a brawl with a feller named Billy Bob. Things got heated, and before you knew it, Cletus had landed himself in jail. Oh my God, transmission tactics. That's fucked up. Hell yeah, Joni. Tell it. All right. Now, in jail ain't no place for a moonshiner. Cletus knew that if he didn't get out soon, his shine operation would be busted for sure. So he hatched a plan to escape with the help of his trusty cousin Earl. He managed to slip out of his cell and make a run for it. They ran through the woods for what felt like hours, dodging branches and jumping over creeks. Finally, they made it back to the Cletus's shack. But when they got there, they found a group of revenue agents waiting for them. They'd been tipped off by Billy Bob, who wanted revenge for the fight. Cletus and Earl knew they were in trouble. They just had them surrounded, and it looked like they were done for. But Cletus wasn't one to give up without a fight. He pulled out a shotgun and started firing. A few of the agents went down, but there were too many of them. Cletus and Earl were outnumbered and outgunned. As they were being hauled off to jail, Cletus couldn't help but think all the things he would miss. He would miss the smell of the mash cooking, the sound of the steel bubbling, and the taste of the shine on his tongue. But most of all, he'd miss the freedom of the hills. Years went by, and Cletus and Earl served their time in jail. When they got out, they found that things had changed. The government had cracked down on moonshine, and many of their fellow moonshiners had been caught and sent to jail. But Cletus wasn't one to be deterred. He knew that there was still a demand for moonshine, and he was determined to meet it. Love Shack, you got shine, buddy? Me too. That's it. Good old Mountain Dew, buddy. I'll fill up my jug with some good old Mountain Dew. Anyway, he started up his operation again. But this time he was more careful. He made sure to keep a low profile and only sell to trusted customers. And as the years went by, he built up a loyal following of folks who couldn't get enough of his shine. But it wasn't all soothing, smooth sailing. Cletus had his fair share of close calls and narrow escapes. He had to outrun revenue agents, dodge bullets from rival moonshiners, and even fend off a bear that wandered into his still. But through it all, he never gave up. And then one day, something unexpected happened. Cletus met a woman named Loretta. She was a beautiful woman with a heart of gold. And she saw something in Cletus that no one else did. They fell in love and got married. And Loretta became a part of Cletus's moonshine operation. And then it says, with Loretta by his side, Cletus found a new sense of purpose. He knew that he was no longer just making shine for himself, but for his family too. And as his operation grew, he became something of a legend in the hills. folks would tell stories about the Moonshine King of Pine Ridge and how he had outsmarted the revenuers time and time again. But even as Cletus's fame grew, he never forgot where it came from. He still lived in the same old shack, and he still made his shine using the same old recipe. And when folks asked him how he managed to stay in business for so long, he would just smile and say, I ain't about to shine. It ain't about the shine, it's about the people. Folks need a little something to help them forget their trouble, and I'm here to provide it. And so Cletus lived out the rest of his days as a moonshiner with Loretta by his side and a jar of shine always within reach. He never forgot the ups and downs of life and the hills, and he always remained true to himself. And when he finally passed on, folks said that they could still hear the sound of banjos echoing through the night, a testament to the enduring spirit of the moonshiners of Pine Ridge. Hell yeah. Have y'all smashed that like button? Heck yeah. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I got a treat for y'all next week, if y'all want it. I did Romeo and Juliet in a hillbilly accent too. Well, part of it anyway. But that'll be for next week. So, what everybody think of the few stories that I had that I shared with y'all today? Good morning, Chrissy. Or afternoon, I should say, actually, for you. Almost forget uh that you in Australia, but it is afternoon for you. Hey, no problem, Beverly. Hey, I get that thing to write me a story every now and then. I got a bunch of them on here that I've had it right, but I just ain't shared all of them. It's like there's one I got that it titled the Wild Adventures in a Parallel Universe, and then I got one called Warrior Kale Defeats Bandits, and then I've got one called the Intergalactic Espionage and Battles, and then Action Tales in a Fantasy World. And then I got one titled Doc Holliday, The Last Stand, but I think I read that one to y'all. And then I did one about John Rambo, but I can't read that one because it's copyrighted. So, oh, okay, that's right. It is 10:30 a.m. in Oz. I'll forget, Chrissy. That's right. You're more in towards Sydney, right? Good day, Lord Eagle. Y'all want to hear a country, like an outcall? Well, this is what I ask it to write anyway. Here's what I ask it to write me. I said, write me an outlaw style country song about a man down on his luck and love who wants to find the right one for him. And then this is what it wrote. Verse one. I've been searching high and low for a love that won't let go. But every time I think I've found someone to hold me down, they keep up breaking. They end up breaking my heart and tearing my world apart. And then the chorus is, I'm a man down on my luck, looking for the right one to love. I've been through hell and back, but I won't give up. I keep searching for far and wide until I find the one who'll ride through the ups and downs of life by my side. Then verse 2 is, I've been on the road for years, through the pain and through the tears. I've seen love come and go, and I've learned to take it slow. But I know there's someone out there who'll love me for who I am and care. And then the chorus starts again. And then the bridge is, I may be an outlaw living life on the run, but that don't mean I don't want a love that's second to none. I'll keep on searching until I find that special someone. And then the chorus goes again. I'm like, wow. Sure, Michael. That's what it was. Song about you, song about him. Oh, Lord, bro. Come on now. I can't write a song about that. But sorry, I was answering John. He asked me a question. Uh but no, that's what that thing wrote. That was a song that it wrote me. I don't know. It's a crazy thing. Um let's see. Well, let's see. What else are we gonna do here tonight? Let's see here. Hey, Handy Prepper, what's up? How you doing, darling? Time to roll another. Uh-oh. Oh my Lord, Chewbacca. Bro, trust me, if we started a book about Ric Flair, it'd be about 1,000 pages and probably like 2,000, probably over 200 million words or longer. You couldn't do a book on Ric Flair. It wouldn't hold up. Now, if you told the whole thing, it'd be this thick. And I'm talking from the floor down. Look like a big old huge, I don't know what you'd call it, tome or something. Be like, whoa. Carry that thing and be taller than you. No, that ain't how bad he is. That's just all the shit he's doing. To be honest, that man's done more than. Oh my God, he's definitely not a saint. Yeah, it would be definitely as long as the infrastructure bill. All the shit he's done, man, it would never end. You would end your life reading about Ric Flair. That's how it would happen. That's how much paper it would take. You just keep reading and it would keep getting longer and longer and longer. Or you'd be on the computer scrolling through it and you just keep scrolling and scrolling. And it never ends. And then when it gets to the end of the server, it rolls up like a Rolodeck. Back to the top. Hell yeah. Not bad, man. Not bad. Hell yeah. I got I actually got flares when I was like 13. And then I lost the napkin that it was on because we moved like 2 weeks later. Pissed me off. I was mad. I was like, man, I lost that napkin. That was one of the coolest things I'd ever gotten too, because I'd actually got to see that day. It was no, actually I might have been older than that because it was like we moved and then next year I started high school. So that may have been like 1990 because I started high school in 91. Um because I seen it was Flair, Arn Anderson, Ole Anderson, and Sting in a gold Buick in a little town down here called Rich Creek. And they stopped at this little eatery that we used to stop at all the time, and we'd went in and got hamburgers like 10 minutes before that and was sitting in the car eating them. Next thing I know, Flair rolls up, gets out of the car, comes over to the trash can in front of our car, puts trash in the can, and goes into the building. And my mom turns around and goes, ain't that who I thought it was? And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly who it was. It was Flair. So then I went in the building and waited until he ordered. Then I asked him, I said, can I get your autograph? And he said, sure, kid. He said, well, what do you want? I said, I don't care. I said, you write what you want on there. I said, I just happy to get your autograph. And everybody in the building was like, what? That's Flair? I'm like, mm-hmm. I'm like, can't you tell? He was in there with a Rolex as big as his fucking arm. It was like this big around the fucking face of it. I was like, damn. And it was all black. And all it had for numbers was diamonds all the way around it. I'm like, shit. Flair was actually really nice, to be honest with you, dude. He was one of the coolest dudes I thought I'd seen. Now, Jimmy Vance, one of the coolest motherfuckers I ever met, though. That dude is special. That guy is he's a living legend in my opinion. But that's because I sat and talked to Jimmy for a while. One day when I went to his wrestling camp and we talked for about an hour one day about his NWA days and all of that. I mean, it was cool. Um, I'd love to go up there and just ask him for an interview one day and just see if he'd do it. And then I'd post it on the page because that'd be awesome. That'd be the highlight of my career. At one point, it would be anyway. At some points, but nah. Actually, I just hey, the Ultimate Warrior was cool, dude. But that man, I'm telling you, he was all over the place, bro. But when they could get him to work right, he could be phenomenal. Just like the Hogan match that he had with Hogan in Montreal, I mean in Toronto, back in WrestleMania 6. Um, that match was really good because, well, Hogan told him, he was like, "Look, we ain't going home. You're gonna wait until I tell you, and then we'll go home. And you're gonna press on me, and then dive on me, and that's gonna be that. Because I'm gonna do the leg drop, and then you're gonna kick out, and blah blah blah." But yeah, he was crazy. If you ever watch some of his interviews on like after he had retired and stuff about people, that stuff was. But then some of it was inspirational too. But I don't know. It was some of it was it was out there some. But hey, Mick Foley's that dude is. I'm telling you, that man's something else. That dude is something else. I ain't gonna lie. Mick Foley is wow. He is the epitome of wrestling in some ways because I mean the man went out there, busted his ass, became a world champ on his own terms, doing it his way, the way he did it. Can you say the man's a good dude? Wrestling is gay. Well, sports entertainment is gayer. And that's what we got now. Ooh, a White Widow AK-47 GS. Damn. Yeah, I got to get me a canner because as soon as I plant those beets next week, because I plan on getting me one of those. I didn't get it this weekend because I didn't go to Walmart, but I'm going next weekend and I'm supposed to get one of those. I'm gonna get a raised garden bed or uh, raised garden so I can plant my beets in it because I want to learn how to can them and pickle them. Can't wait for that because that's my favorite thing to eat is pickle beets, and that's all I want. I would eat them things every freaking day. Wow. Yeah. Damn. You ladies are harsh. Beverly, you need seeds. What kind of seeds? Like, what do you want? Beets? Cucumbers? What do you need? Hey, that might be pretty good. Yo, what up, Bunker? Look who it is, y'all. It's the man, the myth, the legend himself. What up, big dog? Yeah. Yeah, you forgot, huh? It's all good, bro. Hey, I was just giving them the lowdown on the like what this AI shit does. I was reading them stories that it wrote me, or that I had it write me, and I finished the second and third chapter just now of yeah, the Ultimate Warrior. That's definitely him. But nah, like I was showing him like what kind of stories it writes when I ask it to, and there's a bunch of different ones. I read him one about that I wrote at work called Weed Man. You have to go back and check it out. It's funny. Uh, Chewbacca, I got that, bro. Yeah, I got a Royal King near me. Actually, that's where I got the seeds from that I bought. Was at Royal King. Hey, Teresa, welcome back. Did you get dinner started or finished? But wow, that's pretty good, dude. That's nice, Red Dog. That they're big as pool cues now, or pool balls now. That's pretty cool. All right. Yeah, I think so. I'd have to go look, but yeah, I think they did. The last time I was there, that was like last week. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. But hey, that's cool, Bump. Thanks, homie. Uh, next time I come up, dude, I gotta get shoot, man, I gotta get my fishing pole from your house. And we can't forget it this time. Everybody keeps asking me about that damn fishing pole and if I even got one. I'm like, yeah, I did, but we forgot it the last time I was up his house. It was nuts. Could be thorny weeds. But you just got to go out there and pluck them out and find out, or till them up. No, I got the moonshine. I bet it's all good, homie. Shit, hell, I'll just get another one. I'm gonna have to anyway, because what I want to fish for is fucking catfish, and the pole I had anyway wasn't gonna be big enough. So I'm gonna buy me a ugly stick. Nah, you good, homie. It's all good, Bo. Like I said, I'm gonna get a bigger one. I gotta get I'm gonna go down here to this to the shoot the sporting goods store here in town. They got a ugly stick down there for about $60. I'm gonna grab one of them and get me like a small deep sea fishing reel. Yeah, because we get some pretty good sized mudcat up here. Damn things are huge. They pull them out of this lake that I live near Clater. And some bitches are anywhere from that damn long and bigger. Hell, I seen one that had a head on it like that. Hell, I caught one that had a head on it like that and lost it. My line snapped. I was pissed. But y'all heard that story, so I'm not going to tell it again, but that was crazy. So, but that's the reason I want the bigger pole and stronger reel. And I'm going to get uh, better spider wire this time. Well, I didn't have spider wire on the one that I was fishing with that night, but yep, they do. I don't eat them. I don't eat catfish. I don't eat fish. I just love fishing. Now, if I had to eat fish, I'd spice it up. But yeah, I guess I'd have to eat something. But oh wow, yeah, I'd say the wild pigs are getting to be an issue. About time to bring out the cap and start popping them, huh? Start popping caps in them. Y'all dog, what up? Hey, bro, don't we all? But shoot, nah. Actually, that's the. I think that's the thing for every guy. They all want bigger poles. My bad. Oh my god. Shit, my knees, my back. Shoot, as Dusty Rhodes once said, my knees are free, my liver is quiver, my back is cracked. Oh Lord. Oh yeah. Damn, Michael G. You didn't get to go to the outing. Uh oh. Michael G said, "I'm gonna call you," or Suzuki said, "I'm gonna call Michael." Oh shit. The boys are going network. Yeah, I'd say, man, those wild hogs are ridiculous, dude, and they get worse every year. It seems. Oh my god. Oh yeah, we can come up with a bunch of lies, but can anybody tell the truth about the fish they caught? No, never. Not any fisherman can tell the truth about the fish they caught, unless they got a photo. Shoot, I go out in a tent. I'm 47, but kills my ass, but I do it anyway. That reminds me, John, we gotta fucking talk about when we going camping, bro. Oh yeah. I'm sure they do taste fine. That fine swine. Can Alexis pull a camper? It could, but you're risking your transmission to do that. Yard dog, I get it, bro. That's usually what I end up catching's a buzz. Uh-oh. No, okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that, red dog. Shoot. Keep it up, bro. But no. I was thinking though, like next week I'm gonna I'm gonna pull together some stuff and like I said, I'll post that video, um, the link to it in the description, that Suzuki sent me and then we'll talk about that more next week too. Because I think that's gonna be an interesting video. I haven't watched all of it and I want to. Um but I think I'm gonna head out early tonight. But you all holler at me next week. Um, oh, I'd say you did have to check the tent, man, especially if there was a storm come through. Exactly. If you with the right people, it's a damn good trip. If you with the wrong ones, it can be a total piss show. I'm in VA, and it'd be hard for me to get there unless I hitch a ride. Bro, I'm trying, man. I don't know what's wrong with it. I tried. I seen all the settings seem to be fine for that side, but yeah, FJB and censorship. You damn right, bunker. Ain't no doubt. For sure, bro. Fuck them jabronis. All that shit. Fucked up. But anyway, guys and gals, tomorrow, like next week, I will have more set up. Um, like I said, we'll watch that video, and then we'll talk more in depth about it next Friday when I come back. Because I decided Friday is a really, really, really good day. So that's when I'm gonna just like that's the time I'm gonna start doing the show is Friday at goodbye, my love. What the hell? All right, bro. Hey, goodbye, fam. Love y'all. Y'all have a good night. Hey. Hey, you know what? That line right there, Suzuki, was in a movie once, but he didn't say that. He just said, "Let's go take the women and children, gather up the women and children. Let's go take the wolves out hunting for dinner or something like that shit." But anyway, but that was off the program. But God bless everybody. Dumb and Dumber too. Amen. Bye, Chrissy. Uh, Chrissy, I'll have to redo my address on my page because it's not right anymore. But y'all have a good night. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace out. Later on. Beaver Reach. Caveman Reach. We Reach. Later. Caveman out.